What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. If it is your first time here, my name is Brandon, and I wanted to come out and post what I believe to be hopefully a really valuable video, just answering the question, how long is this stock market crash gonna last? Have we reached the bottom? How much further out are we from the bottom? What can we expect as an investor, and really what should we be doing? How should we be approaching everything that's kind of going on right now in the stock market? And to be completely and brutally honest, as I'm sure you guys know, if you're a subscriber to the channel, if you're expecting an exact date here, if you're expecting a timeline and you expect that I know the answer to how much more we got in store, are you being funny? Are you sleeping funny? Are you being funny? I swear she's okay. Man, you're being a little bit distracting right now, Bales. All right, back onto the video. Do we have a time frame? Does anybody really know how long this crash is gonna last? If you find somebody that tries to tell you that on the internet, all right. You are doing this on purpose, Bailey. I know you are doing this on purpose. I know you're doing this on purpose to be funny. I know you are. Okay, getting back on, all right, that's enough, get off it. What I was trying to get at there was, if you come across somebody online, and you will come across a lot of these people these days, they tend to come out of the shadows during times like this, but when you come across people who claim that they know what's gonna happen with this crash, in terms of how much further down we got going, in terms of what level the index is going to be at when we hit a bottom, and how many more months we have of this, or whatever the case is. And you'll find these people everywhere. You'll find them online, you'll find them on TV, you'll find them at your workplace. When you find these people, my best advice to you is to just plug your ears and just turn the opposite direction. Because let's keep it honest and let's keep it brutally straight here. Let's talk facts. Nobody knows what's gonna go on with this crash. Nobody knows how much longer we have in us. Nobody knows how much deeper this is gonna go, especially in a case like what we're going through now with the COVID virus, with the coronavirus, where there is still so many uncertainties. There's still a lot of gray area in terms of what's gonna happen going forward, and how much more serious, how much more we have ahead of us. Very difficult. In fact, I'd say nearly impossible for anybody to accurately know what's gonna happen, unless, of course, they got the crystal ball, which we know nobody's got the crystal ball. Let's be real here. So what can we do as investors, and what's the point of this video? Why would I come out here and film a video if that was all that I had to tell you? Well, as an investor, what we can do in a case like this, and this is what I really feel keeps me grounded and keeps me rational, is to look back on the data. And it's not to say that the data is, we can expect that exactly to happen going forward. Not at all. That's not what I'm saying. But these times, they kind of come and go in cycles. And I mean, you take a look at the stock market in general. If we take a look at the S&P, for example, over the past number of years, we have been in a tremendous bull run over the past 10, 11 years. It has been an absolute haven for investors. It's just been an awesome environment. At some point or another, it is expected, and we know this, that, you know, this won't last forever. The tides do have to turn over, right? We do have to fall out of this cycle. We do have to go into a downturn, a contractionary period. That is completely normal. And to clear this up, we're not talking about a dip. We're not talking about a correction that we've seen over the past 10 years where the market drops 5-10% and kicks back up. We're talking about an actual full-on turn of the tables, an actual down market, a bear market. And to take a look at a couple graphs here, which could really display, you know, what a bear market is. Hopefully you can see this all well enough, but this just shows some of the bear markets that we've seen over the past 50 to 60 years. And we can look to the most recent two. So of course we have the financial crisis back in 2007, 2008, as well as the dot-com bubble back in 2000. The blue line down here is the severity of the crash, so how low the markets actually dipped, this one being the S&P 500. But what's important to note for this chart here is this dark blue, this navy blue line, which is the length in months of the bear market period. So how long this bear market lasted. And with the dot-com bubble back in 2000, we're looking at a decline of 31 months. Okay, a 31-month drawdown period. In 2007, 2008, 17 months of a bear market where the stock market was in an environment where we were going down and seeing a ton of red, a lot of investors panicking and not wanting to put their money in the market. These periods, these are not dips, guys. These are actual turnings of the tide. Now, looking at where we stand today, this one is as of February, so a couple weeks ago, but we're seeing a 1-month drawdown period for a decline of about 30 to 35%. I don't know the exact number that we're at today, but FYI, this has been a fast drop, but we are a month in to this market drawdown with, again, a ton of uncertainty as to what's going to happen in our economy, what's going to happen with these companies and bailouts and bankruptcies. This is all still ahead of us. So does that make sense? I mean, here's another chart just to explain it. Again, there's a million different ways you can look at it, but this is the bear market in terms of length. We see here, again, looking back to the 08-09 period, we're looking at 408 days for a decline of 51%. Back again to the tech bubble in the early 2000s, 546 days of technically being in a down market. How crazy is it to think, to see videos online of people saying, are we at a bottom yet? Have we bottomed out? Hey, I'm not saying it's not possible, but to look back at the data and just get some realistic ideas of how long these actual periods can last, they can last a while. And just on a side note, for anybody that is going through a tough time right now with work, hours being cut, being laid off, I wish you guys all the best, because I know personally a lot of people in my inner circle who are facing that, who are seeing time off already. And again, there's so much more to come. Prayers to anybody that is in a situation like that, to your families, and that you get the whole situation sorted out. I really hope that's the case. That's what comes with a recession that we are very likely. If I had to put my guess on it, we'll only know when we look back, but that's really what we're going into. People lose their jobs and it is a tough, tough time for people. This is just the reality of it, guys. Now, what is this chart that I'm sharing with you? Is there a bright side to this? Is this just a doom and gloom video that's just here to make everybody feel bad? Well, this is really what we all came for. And this is what I hope is a chart that you can take with you from all the videos you watch today, all the negative media and everything that you're panicking about. This chart right here shows the gains coming out of a recession. So these are after depressions, after recessions, after the crashes. This is a chart that I want you to take with you for the rest of this day, and that will help get you through these markets in these tough times, which shows the percentage of gains here on the right column. So this is after the bear market and the number of months that we go out and actually come out and recover out of these deep, dark holes. Because despite these recessions being terrible for those who do lose their jobs, like I just touched on, as an investor, and this is to kind of look at it on the bright side, you don't get these opportunities all too often. And I know there's people panicking saying this time is different and, we've never seen a virus like this and, things are crazy. Yeah, sure, this virus is different, but look at all these crashes that we've been through. Every single time we go through something like this, it's the same thing. The depressions, the wars, the financial crisis. Every time you could take your edge and the media will spin it to make things as serious as possible. Today it's the virus, but the markets will recover. Good companies will be fine. If a company's sitting on cash, if they're able to withstand this period, which they have to, the companies have to have cash, they have to be proven, which is why we always talk about on this channel, investing in the big blue chips that are, reliable businesses. There's no question that they're going to be just fine. And what this drawdown will represent for us is really, I like to say, a once-in-a-decade chance, once-in-a-decade opportunity to go out and pick up some very good quality companies at some very, very good discount, at some very, very highly discounted prices. And I've done videos, the past couple of videos, if you want to go back on the channel, look at some of the tips that we talked about when buying into a market like this. I'm not saying buy today. I'm not saying go and take all your money and go out and buy stocks today, because again, looking at some of these other numbers and how long this could last, at least based on the data, there's no rush to do things. That said, when you look at a chart like this and you see time after time, after the worst of the worst, the market's recovering, the market's pushing up for some superior gains, despite all the craziness that's going on, let this be a video that keeps you grounded and keeps you level-headed and just lets you see kind of the light at the end of this tunnel. Despite everything that's going on in terms of our portfolio, we do get a crash like this once every decade, let's call it, once every 10 years. It is normal, and as crazy as it seems, the last thing you want to be doing here is panic selling and making any rash decisions when you can look back at the data and you can actually study time after time this stuff happens. It's just, you just got to take a little bit of time to educate yourselves and not just fall for what everybody online is preaching for and panicking for, that this is doom and gloom and the world is coming to an end. Yeah, there's crazy stuff going on, and prayers to everybody, but as investors, it's time to start looking for some good deals, once in a decade opportunities on some really, really good quality companies that we will get again. Now, I believe a lot of options are now, and going into the next number of months. Yeah, I wish I had something better to say to you in terms of a prediction, in terms of a timeline, but I really do believe that if anybody tries to do that and make a prediction on that, they're just crazy. They're just crazy as it gets. That's not really how the stock market works. There's so many things that are beyond our control. Rather than trying to be a smarty and predict what's going to happen, just go with the flow, understand how things work, educate yourself, and just look forward to times like these. At least that's the approach that I'm taking on this. And you can feel free to be along with me in this journey, or you can feel free to disagree. That is completely fine. I know we've got a lot of disagreeers on the channel these days recently, and that is completely fine. That is the world of investing for you. But if you enjoyed today's video, if you agreed with my thoughts, if you appreciated the video, you can feel free to drop this one a quick thumbs up. I'm still filming here. just to be safe, man. I'm just staying home for the most part, really not even making the trip into the office. Yeah, we're just quarantining as much as possible, but these home videos won't be around for too much longer. If you are new to this channel, you can hit that subscribe button, because we post weekly videos on the stock market, on topics like this, just any type of investment related topics. And if you are a beginner to the stock market, if you're a Canadian that is new and you're just looking to get started, click that first link down below if you want to learn more about our Investing Academy. We're taking beginners through the entire process of setting up their accounts, establishing a balanced portfolio. We're talking about funds to buy and looking at the different investments, and we're walking them through that entire pathway. You can click the link down below if that's something that interests you and you want to learn more. I'd love to hear your opinions on this topic, so feel free to drop it down below, which I forgot to ask. I'd like to hear your opinions on this topic. But I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.